Hello everyone, my name is Kat, and today I will be doing a review of Stranger Things Season 3. If you do not know already, Stranger Things is a science fiction and horror fiction Netflix original series. It was created, directed, and produced by Matt and Ross Duffer, more known as the Duffer Brothers. The series takes place in a fictional town of Hawkins, Indiana during the 1980s. Season 1 came out in 2016. Season 2 came out in 2017, and this past season, Season 3, just came out in July of 2019. Probably took a little bit longer considering the fact that Finn Wolfhard, who also plays Mike, also had to shoot the remaking of It. So we can all thank that movie for making us wait almost a year and a half to get Season 3. Also, this series does go quick, very fast. It only has 8 episodes to it, so they get through a significant amount of information throughout these episodes. You can leave the room for honestly a minute and miss something critically important to it. So it is always recommended, if you go to watch this, pause if you leave the room where your attention is not 100%. Okay, enough talking about that. Let's start getting into what happened Season 3 of Stranger Things. Also, if you have not watched Stranger Things Season 1 or 2 or 3, please go watch that before watching this because, forewarning, there are spoilers ahead. You've been warned. If you recall from Season 2's ending, you would remember that it left us all off with at the school dance, and then you see the Mind Flayer in the Upside Down at the same location, leaving us all wondering, what the hell is going on? Season 3, however, starts off very unexpectedly. It's in an unknown location in a laboratory that looks a lot like Hawkins with all these unfamiliar characters. Then it introduces this big machine that looks like it's trying to open up the dimension to the Upside Down. Until the machine malfunctions, everybody in the enclosed lab gets vaporized and dies. I really did love how the season started out. It gives a little bit of a mystery as well as giving foreshadowing into a major event that happens at the end of the season. But we will get more into that later on. Elle and Mike are dating, leaving Hopper very, very uncomfortable with that situation. Lucas and Max are dating. Dustin comes home from summer camp with a supposed girlfriend that nobody thinks that he has. Will is still single. I mean, he was in the Upside Down, with a Mind Flayer attached to him, so I'm pretty sure that would give anybody a little insecurity issues, having a Mind Flayer still attached to you. I really did love the relationships that they explored this season with Eleven and Mike and the ups and downs of young romance. I also really liked the fact that they had Max and Eleven become best friends, because in Season 2 they really didn't show them in any scenes together until the very end, and they didn't even really like each other. Hopper and Joyce have a very strange relationship this season that is a lot different than anything that we've seen before. They seem to have a lot of romantic tension built up that manifests itself into these petty, childish arguments that just seem overplayed and not the best written, in my opinion. The whole time that they were arguing, I felt like it took too much away from the adventure. There could be a scene where I was right at the edge of my seat and they would start this bickering, and I felt like it took the anticipation out of the situation.
This isn't the way this is supposed to work, all right?
Also, they didn't get really much accomplished this season. They kidnapped Lexi and they couldn't even manage to keep him alive, also damaging my heart as well. It just disappoints me because Hopper and Joyce were such badasses in Season 1 and 2, and this season they fall so short of being heroes, even towards the end when they needed the code to get in, and Dustin has to get it for them from his girlfriend that decides to show up at the very last second.
Look at what you see.
It also blows my mind that Joyce didn't confront her son one time about her suspicions. If anybody knows anything about a Mind Flayer, it's Will. He even knows more than 11, since the fact that he has to explain it to 11 about how the Mind Flayer didn't get trapped in the Upside Down like she originally thought.
But the part that was still in me, what if it's still in our world?
Steve and a new cast member, Robin, work together in the Starcourt Mall in an ice cream shop. I really enjoyed this performance and watching their relationship develop. They really took a chance with her, I feel like. She hasn't been in any other seasons, and they stuck her in as a main role, and they completely nailed it, 100%. She ends up figuring out the Russians' code, and just when everybody thought her and Steve would be together, she puts a major twist on that idea.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Holy shit.
They also gave Erica, Lucas' sister, a bigger role this season, and I think she fit in perfectly. Her boldness and sassiness is honestly hilarious, and it fits in perfectly with the circumstances without damaging any effects of the serious parts. Nancy and Jonathan are still together, and they work together at the Hawkins Post. Nancy struggles in this male-dominating atmosphere when she's fetched to do lunches and coffee, and Jonathan isn't very sympathetic of her because he's getting treated just fine. I didn't necessarily love their performance this season. They did have a lot to do with the plot and discovering that the Mind Flayer, it's fueling itself by making people eat fertilizer and then blowing up and using that as energy. But that's all they really did this season, and Jonathan's attitude just completely annoys me the whole season. It's like he forgot what happened to his brother and going into the Upside Down, and then in season 1 he was the one running around with a camera investigating everything, and then now he works for a journaling company and doesn't want anything to do with investigating. Okay, let's talk about Zachary Montgomery. I'm so happy that they gave him such a big role this season. His performance is outstanding. In season 2, he started off as a mean older brother that his sister hated. And then this season, he turns into the Mind Flayer's host. They give a little bit of information of Billy's background and how he grew up. And that's one thing that Stranger Things is known for, is taking a character that you're made to believe that you hate, and then they turn them into a character that you love. They did the same thing with Steve in season 1. He started off horrible, and now he's one of the fan favorites of this show. But for example, in the sauna scene, when he's crying to Max, apologizing to her for all the horrible things that he has done, that does give him a sense of humanity when everybody thought that he didn't. And it truly upset me when he died because he ended up saving all of their lives for his sister. The reason why Stranger Things is so successful is not only because they nail the 80s settings within the writings, and they have characters who played in 80s movies. It's strictly because of the fact that they have characters that people love. I keep getting drawn back because of these characters. I'm emotionally invested in them, and I want to see what is going on, and that's why I come back for more. One thing, however, I do not understand about the series is the story between Mrs. Wheeler and Billy. They spent a significant amount of time developing this story. We're seeing her going through these moral conflicts with herself and her obligations to her family, just for this to go absolutely nowhere. I understand that they probably did this to show how Billy is changing, but they could have did that with somebody else. Also, why did they have the mayor and Heather's dad look so similar? This confused me the entire season. Finally, let's get into Hopper's death. Hopper's speech to 11 absolutely devastated me, and I'm not ashamed to admit I cried so hard. But I'm just gonna say this because I know I'm not wrong. Hopper is not dead. Let me explain. Let's take it back to the very first scene of this season when the machine malfunctions, it vaporizes everybody in this enclosed lab, and it shows it in slow motion of them brutally getting vaporized. They never actually show Hopper getting killed. They showed Billy getting killed, they showed Bob Newby from season 2 getting killed, and they showed Alexei getting killed. So you have no doubt that they are dead. But they don't show that of Hopper, which is why I don't believe he is dead. Also, a dead giveaway is at the very last scene of this season. You see it in a Russian prison type of setting, and you literally hear one of the guards say, "No, not the American." And then they move on to the next cell, and then they feed that prisoner to Demogorgon or a Demodog. The American is probably more likely than not Hopper. I didn't necessarily love this season, nor did I hate it either. I think that had some great fantastic parts, and I think it had some not so good parts. I think season 1 was their strongest season, and season 3 is their weakest, giving it an all-over rating of a B-. I was a little disappointed with Eleven's role this season. I think they focused way too much on her and Mike's relationship over all her mind powers and the story that they've been developing since season 1. Netflix just announced a few hours ago that season 4 is a for sure go. They also gave some insight saying that the next season will not be located in Hawkins, Indiana. Also, they won't give any part of who will be in the next season and who won't be in the next season. So I'm definitely very interested to see how that all comes together. It is very possible that the next season will be the last of it. And I'm very excited to see how it all comes together towards the end. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed season 3 as much as I did, despite the minor mishaps here and there. It overall was a great performance, and I will be coming back for season 4 due to the fact that I absolutely love these characters. I can't get away from this. I am obsessed. Alright, thank you guys, and hopefully I will see you again season 4, 5, 6, and 25.